It's time for our series, Women Mean Business. And today's guest is someone who has shattered glass ceilings for female business leaders while revolutionizing the fashion industry. Her name is Jennifer Hyman, and she's the CEO and co-founder of Rent the Runway. She's here live, and we'll join her in just a moment. But first, here's some of her story.
3 years ago, Rent the Runway became the first company to go public on the NASDAQ with an all-female executive suite. And leading the charge was CEO and co-founder Jennifer Hyman. As a born and raised New Yorker, hustle and a love for fashion are in Hyman's DNA. After graduating from Harvard in 2002, she got her start with Starwood Hotels, where she created the first ever honeymoon registry. Hyman and co-founder Jenny Fleiss launched Rent the Runway in 2009 with the company's first designer partner, Diane von Furstenberg. The company is credited with pioneering the idea of rental fashion for a wide audience. Now this month, Rent the Runway is celebrating its 15th anniversary with over 3 million customers since launch and more than $150 million in revenue this year. Along the way, Hyman has picked up dozens of awards, including Time's 100 most influential people in the world and Fortune's 40 under 40. She says it's always been her personal mission to empower women to feel their best. Jennifer Hyman is a woman who means business.
And I am so excited to have Jennifer here in studio with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations first on 15 years. Does it feel like it's been that long, or does it feel longer?
It doesn't feel like it's been that long. It's been so fun along the way and such an adventure to build the business. So I think that, you know, what's amazing is how much the world has really changed over the past 15 years, because the world was certainly not welcoming to this concept when we first launched it. And now it's so normal that you're going to kind of get dressed via secondhand clothing, and you can rent and you can buy secondhand. And I'm really proud that we've been a part of that.
Absolutely. I'm just so fascinated by anybody who can kind of make something that didn't exist before. That not only, you know, any company is, of course, that when you start it, but to really pioneer an industry. And the fact that you jumped in on one that does not seem easy. I mean, the logistics of buying as many clothes as you have.
I didn't know how hard it was going to be.
And like, I've actually heard before
from being naive at the beginning of a company.
But like a fact that I know about Rent the Runway that just absolutely blew me away is, didn't you guys essentially become like the largest dry cleaner also, because you have all those clothes that you have to then clean and just all of those logistics? Tell us a little bit about the feeling and the stress or the excitement of launching something that was logistically challenging that had not been done before.
So I think that the thing that drove me at the very beginning is the very thing that continues to drive me, which is this mission of empowering women to feel amazing every single day. Fashion is armor for women. You go into work, you go to a special event, and what you put on is effectively how you feel about yourself. And what we wanted from the very beginning was to democratize that feeling and to make it more accessible and smarter for women to have what they want, which is variety in their wardrobes. So it's really the mission that has kind of enabled me to kind of survive through all of the incredibly difficult times, like building out first of its kind, just-in-time reverse logistics, where we get back millions of units from our customers. We have to restore them. We have to send them back out, often that same day, to the next customer. And so those were all things I had no idea how to do before Rent the Runway, but you kind of just learn along the way. And I think that really the lesson to me on leadership is just this continuous learning, continuous humility that you're going to make a million mistakes. And the objective is, how quickly can you actually recognize those mistakes, learn from them, and change? Because this has been kind of an entire decade and a half of just bobbing and weaving, like making mistakes and then just figuring out how to grow from there.
How much did you learn about dry cleaning fast?
Well, I've learned a lot about dry cleaning and operations. I could tell you where not to go in New York City.
That's funny. I love that. Tell me about pitching DVF herself on this and how those first conversations went, because that was who you launched with as a partner. And of course, you know, I wear DVF half the time. It's something that we all love. It's such a recognizable brand woman figure.
Yeah. So you got to go straight to the top. Right after I had this idea, I cold called Diane von Furstenberg.
Amazing.
Someone in her office agreed to meet with me. And I like showed up the next day at 5 o'clock and introduced myself as the co-founder of Rent the Runway. This was like 48 hours after having the idea. So in reality, like I was co-creating the idea with her. I was like, what do you think about this? We're going to take your current season inventory. We're going to rent it out for 10% of the price while it's still in stores. And fundamentally, when she first heard the idea, she didn't like it. She thought, why would I ever do that? That's going to cannibalize my sales. That might dilute my brand to give people the opportunity to rent as opposed to buy. And instead of turning away, I engaged her in a conversation about like, okay, what about this really scares you? And what are the problems in your business right now? And she kind of introduced me to this problem that all designers were having, which was the problem of how do I acquire customers in a world where younger women aren't frequenting physical stores in the same way that they used to, where there's an endless aisle online, where it's really hard to actually pay for ads on Google. The ads on Google and on Facebook have like doubled or tripled. So we then thought, okay, we could actually be a win-win not only to customers, but also to brands in helping them reach this next generation of customers and giving them this experience wearing clothes. And once you have the experience wearing designer clothes, you fall in love with it and you figure out like what you want to own.
It's so fascinating to hear the backstory. We only have like 20, 30 seconds here, but we always end this segment by asking a woman who did something that I think so many people watching at home could be looking up to or think like, gosh, I have an idea, but it sounds really hard, but she did it. What's your kind of like your mantra, like your one sentence of advice to somebody listening at home who wants to know how you did what you did?
Stay in the game. Person who's playing the game the longest wins.
Oh, God. Ooh, that's good.
Just keep on moving, keep on playing. Like, it doesn't matter who wants to take you out of the game. Like, if you stick around, you're going to be successful.
And here you are, 15 years later.
There we go.
Jennifer Hyman, CEO of Rent the Runway, co-founder of Rent the Runway. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.